Welcome to the first and very special session of the Entrepreneur Track. We have on stage right now a really awesome father and daughter duo. For Priti, Anandji is a superhero, and we'll come to that in some time. And Anandji, from his early years navigating industries far removed from finance, for which we know him, to building one of India's most trusted names in financial services. His journey is as much about conviction as it is about compounding. And then there's Priti, entrepreneur, investor, and champion of financial independence for women. If her father built the highways of a financial services company, she is laying down the express lanes for women to drive their own financial destinies with LXME. Together, they represent not just two generations of investors, but two very different ways of looking at money. One built on discipline and legacy, and the other on disruption and inclusivity. That's how I have read it, but more we'll learn from them in the next 30 minutes or so. So thank you, both of you, for joining us here. So, Anandji, Priti, if we have to take a poll at your house, कि कौन बड़ा risk taker है? Who's the bigger risk taker? Anand ji starting the wealth management, or Priti starting, Lakshmi? What would your take be?
Answer is obvious, Priti.
Okay.
Because starting a startup is far more riskier, and in that sense, because the business which I started, I knew that it will succeed. It didn't have I didn't have to look at the probabilities or the hard work. I think obviously any startup which Priti has done, Lakshmi, that I've seen, it's a huge effort required to do something which is a disruption, as you rightly said. Disruption requires huge efforts. I think what I did was very disciplined approach to create business, and I knew that the success it doesn't take long. In the first year of my work itself, my business was profitable.
We'll come to that. Priti, your take on how you see it.
Of course, I'm going to say him because I think, he was in a very, very cushy job, and to give that up and to say, I'm going to start something of my own.
That to something which he has not tried before.
Correct,
probably.
absolutely. I mean, although I think it just came very naturally to him, the entire, the PFSI space. But I would always say that. But I think he's getting home the fact that my business is not yet break even. So I think that's the messaging I'm getting.
Okay, all right, great. Okay, so Anandji, you were born in Jodhpur. And if any of my facts is wrong, just correct me. You were born in Jodhpur, gold medalist CA 1966. You joined DCM in Delhi. And you had a checkered history. You have, gone on to other, built companies. We'll come to that. While those were mostly jobs before you started your own company, but you have always found yourself at loss-making companies. So you are a magnet, like आपको loss-making companies attract करती, but you have successfully turned them around as well. So tell us about it.
Yes, Saurabh, I think I was fortunate to get excellent opportunities. Not that all were loss-making, but yes, initial DCM when I started, that was the best known firm
a profit-making
of that
company,
time.
Yes.
It was a good grounding, but when I joined Birla Indian Rayon, that was a difficult decision because at the same time I had offer from Hindustan Lever and Indian Rayon. And Indian Rayon was loss-making company.
And you were advised to go to Hindustan Unilever.
Everybody, I think 90% of people told me go to Hindustan Lever. But I chose the other way around to join Indian Rayon because I thought, a company which has more challenges is the right place to go and learn. It has, obviously you have to work harder, but that's where the maximum learning comes from. And that's why, after turning around Indian Rayon, I actually became a turnaround specialist.
Right.
So anything which was not doing well in Birla's was assigned to me. But also besides that, it also gave me a lot of opportunity and confidence to start new things. So, as you might be aware, cement business, what you see, Ultratech, the first seed was sown by me in 1982 by setting up the first cement plant, okay? And that also sort of my idea. Then I set up the finance business. What you see, Adit Birla Finance today was again set up by me, Birla Mutual Fund. So I think, working in a challenging companies gives great experience. And that learning, to my mind, that helped me when I started my own business, apart from stockbroking or financial services, for which I am known, I did lot of turnaround of companies, and not in India, in overseas. I think you may be surprised to know that I was consultant to Thai Airways,
Okay.
and I turned around Thai Airways, 2 years consulting assignment.
This is new to me as
So,
well.
it's a pleasure. I
Right.
think when you can turn around something from loss making to profit making, the amount of pleasure you get, of course, challenges, but pleasure is great. So that has been the journey for me.
तो सर आजकल बहुत सारे ना वो मैं वीडियो ब्लॉग्स देखता हूँ जिसमें सब कुछ खाना बनाते वक्त एक सीक्रेट मसाला डाल देते हैं, बताएंगे नहीं कभी कि वो क्या है। तो ऐसा कोई सीक्रेट मसाला है कि आप कभी टर्न अराउंड करते थे तो?
I think my secret is very open secret. As you know that anybody who has worked with me has really grown very well. Today, if you look at Adit Birla Group, almost all the CFOs are people whom I train. So what I believed is if you want to be successful, if you want to turn around, you need a team spirit. You need people to work hard. One person cannot do it. So I think I always believed that if you want to succeed, you have to train your team, you have to be with them, you have to learn from them also many times. So with that sort of, attitude, I think that has made us successful. So I believe that young generation, young blood is very good. If you train them, groom them, anything can be turned around.
Right. That's a very good piece of advice. Priti, where were you when Anandji was doing all this? So what's the learning for you? Because this is something probably is missing in most of the people today. As you said that, you take the challenge on. Rather, people would like to go to a company which is established. So what learning have you got from him in this case?
I mean, we could go on the whole day
Yeah, I'm
about
sure. I've seen your tweets.
about the learnings. But I think just while he was talking, 2-3 things come to mind. I think the most important out of them is that entrepreneurship, once an entrepreneur, always an entrepreneur, right? Once you wear the entrepreneur's hat, you can, it's something that you never put away. So I see him every day, and I think I realize that especially with him around, none of us can remove our entrepreneurial hat. So we're just very inspired to keep doing, putting our neck out and seeing an opportunity, putting resources together and saying, how do we, LXME is an outcome of that. I think the other very important thing that I've learned from him is that values create valuation. And I think this is a very important takeaway in today's day and age. Because especially, when I see in the startup world, when I see people starting up, just, given all the noise about numbers, etc., I realize that what I've learned from him is that you've got to work for yourself, but also if you make your intent very clear that you have to work for the others, if you make life better for other people, if that's what your business does, and you do it ethically with the right values, you actually create valuation. So I think that's the second most important thing that, I've really imbibed from him. Of course, I think he's made age irrelevant.
Right. That we
Right?
can see.
No matter what age you are, you can continue to work hard. I think his resilience in situations that may not be best suited for us, but I think his ability to focus and say, let's just focus on what's best for all our stakeholders is another important thing. And I think just the ability to stay updated and curious. I have a young son who's an engineer, and when you see him and my father talking, sometimes you'd really be surprised that, You know, if he talks, my son is a mechanical engineer, and when he talks about things that he would study, etc., and my father would have a full discourse. It was not an alien subject at all. And then my son would come back and say, how does Nana know all this? So I think just curiosity, reading so much, staying updated, staying very, very relevant. So I think lots of these things, and of course hard work. I think nothing beats hard work, and of course the combination of hard work and smart work.
Correct.
So some of those things, but I could go on.
Yeah.
So Saurabh, actually, as you said, many times this word entrepreneurship is misunderstood. Most people think entrepreneurship is ownership. It's not the ownership. It's not the financial ownership I'm saying. The real entrepreneurship is that whatever you do, you make sure that your goal is as an entrepreneur to make it success. Okay? And that's why I think, as you had said, yes, from day one, whenever I worked in any company for any job, I never felt I am an employee. I always felt I am the owner. I am the entrepreneur. I think that there's a great book if people are interested in reading called Founder's Mentality.
Right.
So what you need to succeed anywhere, whether you're in your own business or job, if you have that mentality, then the chances of success would always be greater.
True. So also, Anandji, just not exactly on what you said, but you have a philosophy. You believe that you should put out your name in the company. You insisted on naming it Birla White, if I'm correct.
Yeah, correct.
And that's what you did with your own company. What's the logic there? Is it about that if you do something wrong, your own name is going to get tainted, or it brings in more responsibility, or it's about your name going out and people knowing you?
Very interesting thing. Birla White, because you mentioned that, I'll tell you the story. Before Birla White, none of the product of Birla's carried the name of Birla. So first time when I proposed to Mr. Aditya Birla that I want to put Birla name in white cement plant, he was initially, he said, no, kyun kar rahe ho? We have never done it before. I said, no sir, I want to do it. बोले अगर फिर खराब होगी तो इज्जत खराब होगी. I said, that's the exact reason. Once the name is, your name is, Mr. Birla name is involved, I think everybody down the line would be far more, careful, responsible. That name cannot go bad. And that's the exact reason that when I started the company, I said, I must put my name at stake first. And therefore, everybody in the company will have that clear philosophy, that is our name which is important, and that molded our philosophy. If you look at, the client centricity which we adopted from day one, it was that because of name. I said, bhai, paisa kamana hai, bilkul integrity, ethics hai, because name should not go bad. What is more important is the image and the name, because that's what actually the branding is all about. So I think if Tata's, they always use name, Tata is therefore considered such a great name. And that's the exact reason, as you so rightly said. I said, and before me, most people had not used their name. But I decided that no, I'll use my name so that everybody in the team, in their family, in the organization gives due importance to the image of the name.
And I think after that, at least in the sector which you are in, there was a flow of people who started companies, using their own first and second names, surnames, I believe. Yeah. So I just to let you all know that when Anandji left his job with the Birlas and wanted to start his own office, Birlaji actually gave you ₹1 crore to start the business. Not only that, he came to inaugurate your office as well.
Part is right,
Okay.
part is not.
Okay.
But I think I will really be grateful. Mr. Aditya Birla was my mentor. And it's the first time in Birla Group when somebody left the company, didn't retire from there, a farewell was given, but I was given that farewell. And so kind of him that he came and inaugurated my very small office. But that shows his greatness, okay? his greatness and obviously love and affection for me. So this is again unusual thing where an employer will go and inaugurate the office of his employee who has left the job. So I think I really, Mr. Birla has highest respect for him and he is my mentor.
Right. I think the part where I got it 1 crore wrong was that it was for another business for Birlas only that you had asked 1 crore, which I don't remember which one was
Okay,
it.
I'll tell you what happened. When we started the financial services business,
Right, correct.
again, Mr. Birla was, Birlas were great in manufacturing. Services was not the portray. So when I proposed to him on financial services, he said, "Nahi yaar, ye business apne kya kaam ka?" And I said, "This is the future, let's do it." So at that time, I said, "You give me only 1 crore to start this company. And if it is successful, then give more money." So that was a very small amount I asked for him. And of course, I told him that my savings are 3 lakhs, I'll put that also into this company. So I'm willing to take risk on. And that is how, he was, again, I think, greatness of him. I did many projects or many ideas which first time he didn't want to, but then finally he was able to, very good listener and then accepting this. That's where this 1 crore thing came in.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. Priti, I'll come to you now. I have heard Anandji's stories multiple times and probably now people also have heard. आप तो बिल्कुल वहाँ पे सामने देख रही थी. So must have a lot of influence on you. And so when you were starting out Lakshmi, which was focusing on money and women, what was the advice that came from your father to you?
I think, one, he's always said that whatever you do, put your soul and heart into it, do it with all your might, never half-heartedly. So I think that advice obviously always carried. But I think most importantly, especially when I started Lakshmi, he was one of those people who actually, see, the reason for Lakshmi, and I'll tell you, Lakshmi exists because the entire BFSI world for some reason leaves women out, right? There are less than 10% women who actually invest their money, and probably 2-3% who invest actually take decisions on their own. But we're 50% of the population. We are earning more. We are more women now in the workforce, more single women in the country. So there's a huge potential, and it was an opportunity I could see. But I think from his perspective, he said that because you're doing something which has such a large impact, it is something that you have to do with not just, of course, profits happen, a business makes money, but do it right way, do it ethically, because at the end of the day, it's the women's money that you're dealing with. So I think, of course, that. And I think we've always had this relationship where, like the father-daughter, mentor-mentee relationship, which sort of has a crossover very often. So when he's a father, he'll say, "Arey, you're working so hard. Why do you work so hard?" And when he's the mentor, he's like, "You're not working hard enough. This has to be done. This is what you should look at." So we sort of oscillate between those two. But I think he's always been my biggest cheerleader. I decided to step out of the whole Anand Rathi ecosystem and set up Lakshmi. I don't think he once said that this is not something that you should do. He's always, been, a lot of people ask me, your dad must have invested in your business. I said, forget the investment, but he is the most invested in my business. Because he really wants this to succeed. He wants this to happen. He's also, I think, the brand ambassador for Lakshmi. I know that he keeps Lakshmi cards handy every time he's in a flight or he meets any woman anywhere. He may not talk about Anand Rathi, but he'll take out the Lakshmi card and he'll say, do you invest? If not, this is where you should invest.
But proof of, proof is in the, if he had invested in was he the first seed investor for your company?
I don't know what to say to that, but he's the first investor in my company. Like I said, he's most invested.
नहीं फिर तो हम समझेंगे ना कि वो एक्चुअली में वो बिलीव कर रहे थे वो पैसे डालेंगे तो
Well, I think that was a call we took as Lakshmi, that we want to be completely independent. But he is, like I said, he is far more invested than, even our investors, I think.
अच्छा one advice that is yes sir.
So Saurav, as she said, I think why this idea, I liked it so much, because it is the passion for doing, it's just not the business alone.
Right.
It's a great social service. When the passion, she had said that I want women also to learn financial side, learn investing, because she has seen it that in most families, the money even belonging to women is always handled by there's some male, the brother, father, husband, son. And that's why she noticed and she said, "Nee, Papa, I want basically women to really get to learn this investing." And therefore I said, it's just not business alone. There's a great social objective attached to it. So that's why I think it's really worth doing.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. That is the root cause of Lakshmi, and we are really proud you're doing some excellent work there. Anandji, any advice that you have given to Priti and she has not listened to it?
I don't think you should be embarrassing us like this.
I'm not embarrassing, I'm just asking. We
No,
want
I
to know.
think I'll not put it. I'll put it this way. We many times have different opinions. And that's good. Because at the end of the day, it is the difference of opinion. And we can, argue, discuss. But finally, we come to the conclusion which is acceptable to both. So that's the thing which we need to do.
Okay, okay.
Can I add in one more thing here?
Yeah.
I think it's been my realization that when there is this difference of opinion, I do feel that being a daughter and being a woman, I'm actually able to put a different point of view in a much better way. That perspective is very different. And which is why I actually encourage everybody to get your daughters, daughter-in-laws into the room when you have a business ecosystem. Because you will have a very, very different perspective. I mean, I have seen fathers and sons, and I know when they have difference of opinion, those discussions are not always very, civilized, but they're not very, not something that goes down well. But I've seen the same discussion when daughters have with their fathers or daughter-in-laws have with father-in-laws. And I feel it's very important now to get women into the room and see the magic unfold. So I think this is a very strong belief that I think thanks to my father now I have, that women need to be part of businesses.
Right. All right. So, just as a segment which I had promised you, which I asked you to do, is that we have around 12 minutes now, 11 minutes, 30 seconds. So probably next 3-4 minutes, if I give you a chance to ask questions to your father, not embarrassed maybe as you think I would, but some hard questions which probably he would evade otherwise. What would be those questions to him? And sir, if you can answer them.
Papa, are you ready?
Yeah.
So
I'm used to it.
I've agreed. I was very happy when I think Saurabh reached out and they said this, you'll get an opportunity to ask your father questions on stage. I said, why not? I'm definitely going to Jaipur and doing this. So that's been my reason to come here. So I have a few questions, Papa, if you're ready. And
Yes,
he
she has
doesn't.
been asking in private today in public.
Okay.
And I hope we get the same answer that you've been giving in
Yes.
private. Because we want to understand what is this father-daughter and this mentor-mentee relationship that you
Saurabh,
have.
it will be very honest answer. I
All
can
right,
assure
sir,
you.
let's go.
Okay. So 5 minutes of reverse role play, this is called, right? Okay, Papa. So between advising me on life and clients on wealth, which job has been more profitable and which one more exhausting? Candid.
More profitable has been advising you, obviously, because that's the long term. Advising clients is more transactional. But advising you, obviously, creating a long-term future for you and the family. And it has not been, I must say, adjustment depend on the type of question. As I said before, we always discuss anything threadbare and then finally come to the right conclusion and we both accepted.
बट सर एक टाइम के बाद तो क्लाइंट भी मान जाता होगा, ये मान जाती थी, तो एग्जॉस्टिंग ज्यादा यही होता होगा ना.
मैं वही तो कह रहा हूँ, मानने के लिए आई थिंक बेसिकली इफ वी आर एबल टू, आई एक्सेप्ट मेनी टाइम्स हर व्यूज और शी एक्सेप्ट माई व्यूज, इफ फाइनली आफ्टर दिस डिस्कशन वी फाइंड कि विच व्यू seems to be more rational. So finally we'll go by the rationality of the decision.
Also, I make him believe that मैं मान गई.
All right. Yeah, you'll have to put an end to somewhere, no, right?
Yes,
So go ahead. Your
correct.
second question.
Yes. Okay. Papa, you always tell me think long term, right? But when I ask for advice, you want results next quarter. Okay, so which Anand Rathi do I listen to? Long-term philosopher, quarterly strategist?
Both, because short term is a part of long term. Unless until you can do short term, you know, बोले अगर हलवा खाना है जिंदा रहोगे तो खाओगे भाई, तो पहले जिंदा रहना है फिर हलवा भी खाना है. So I don't see difference between the two. Both are important in life. I think you can't ignore short term for long term. And obviously long term is the key. But every long term consists of many short terms. And therefore, I don't see any conflict between that. I think both mean Anand Rathi, okay?
Okay, this one is asked for an ulterior motive because you're recording this and I want this recorded.
Okay.
Okay?
Someone at home has asked you?
No.
No?
This is just me.
Okay.
I want to ask this, okay? So one quality of yours that you see in me, Papa.
Yeah, this is going to be there for posterior.
You are limiting me to one. Huh? I think I see you many qualities in you, Priti. Entrepreneurship, of course, is known. Your, relationship, networking, understanding people, and really eager to, work both in family and socially. I think, which I think you have really inherited a lot from me. Thank you for that.
I think everybody can clap for,
Yes,
for us.
please.
Yeah? Okay, richer ROI, better ROI. What is a better ROI? Mutual funds or daughters?
Answer is very simple. As I said before, daughters obviously are the great assets. And therefore, you must look at ROI on the greater asset. Mutual fund is not greater than the daughter. So I think if we can optimize or make higher ROI on daughters, that's going to be obviously long-term beneficial.
Sir, how about mutual fund in the name of the daughters? एक ही तीर में दो निशाने हो जाएंगे सर.
Sir, पैसे और इसमें बहुत फर्क है, सौरभ. I think, once I said that many times अपने हिंदुस्तान में कहते हैं daughters mean tensions. Tension हो गया, daughter हो गया. I always said daughter means equal to 10 sons. It is not tension, it is 10 sons.
Okay, last one. As a company that went from family run to family led but professionally managed, what's your advice to other family businesses navigating this shift? And I'm assuming there are a lot of people
Right.
here who are in that space right now.
I think, when we started even family-led Priti, I always believe there is no, actual dichotomy between family and professionalism. Professionalism has to be there in the family. Obviously, as you grow, you need more people, and that's where, when you say professionalism, because when I started, it was not possible to have CEOs, okay, because it was a small outfit. But as we grew, every business, we created a CEO. So I think, but even as the owner started, we were professional in approach. So what is important, I recall more 40 years back, there was a conference where the topic was, where I was a speaker, family versus professionalism. And then I had to tell that it is no different. Families could be professionals, and professionals could be family part. And that's what we believe in. So I say one of our culture which we have created in our organization, that it's a family. Everybody is a part of family. So we don't differentiate कि ये employee है या professional है या family member है. So I think my advice to everybody is that long term, it is the culture which you create is far more important for growth of your businesses, because if you create a family culture, because after all, they are part of family. We have to look after everybody who comes as a part of the organization. So I think my strong belief is that professionalism has to be there. Now we are called family-led professional organization. And that's what it happened, because from day one, we delegated professionally the jobs which were possible to be delegated. So my suggestion is, whether it is family owned or only run, it has to be run professionally.
Right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Anand, and thank you, Priti, for that segment. We have a couple of minutes left. Are there questions for Anandji or Priti here? Anyone? Any questions? So if you can put the mic around if there are any. Any questions, anyone?
We see one hand there.
I see one
Yep.
hand there. I see one hand there. Please quickly introduce yourself and keep the question brief and within the realm of the conversation here, please.
Sir, my name is Satish Dandegaokur. I have traveled from Pune for this event. I wanted to know, did you ever feel that you should buy a software company or a pharma company along with your investments that you do in these companies and run it as well? And in the future, do you think you'll take over some AI company or ML or AI company?
Before you answer, I must tell you that he's a visionary. He started to invest in picture tubes even before I think the digital, the television sets used to come to India, I believe. So I think.
No, I believe obviously technology is most important, and we have an IT company also. And today, most of our IT needs are served from our own in-house company. But our goal is that IT company will become independent, will become stronger. So yes, in our own company, we are having AI team also. I think one thing for everybody is very important. You have to be, on technology. You have to invest money, you have to invest time. And I'll tell you for one thing, I worked on the first commercial computer in India, back in '67, IBM 1401. I've seen the way technology has changed in last 60 years. I think if you are not up to date on technology, in any business you are doing, you'll fall behind.
Good afternoon to all of you.
Can you be a little louder, please?
Hello, good afternoon to all of you. Well,
Yeah.
my name is Rajiv. I've come specially from Bangalore, the tech hub of India. So my problem is, you being a veteran and a person who has brought in best part of the financial spaces, and for the people, and they could really make money out of your advices, or otherwise they could get good lot of knowledge out of you, sir. So what problem we are facing right now is, we want to bring in the best of the technology, but the government is not ready. That's my complaint. I've just reached out to SEBI quite a lot of times, See, I'll tell you, when the moment we talk about blockchain, the moment we talk about AI, they say, they remain like a, difficult watchdogs, Technology of blockchain is not always crypto, you see. What I feel is blockchain can bring in a lot of transparency as well as encryptions, It can be a rock solid, any transaction which SEBI might be difficult in, or financial institution might be difficult in identifying. Technology can bring it, the transparency where you can pick that problem very easily, or some cheating things also can be brought in, sir. Sir, as a veteran like you, how do you just change, because since you are with the system, I would wish that if you could bring, with your powerful words and your wit and your intelligence in the minds of the financial authorities, sir. Please, thank you, sir.
Thank you. That was a long, I think if I've understood, there was a lot of echo, but if I've understood that you want him to advocate blockchain because people misunderstand what the real use cases of without crypto. Yes, so there is
Yes,
a,
blockchain is a great technology. In fact, my grandson, Priti's son, has expertise in that. He worked for 2 years in a crypto company in UK. You see, as I said, anything which bring productivity, higher productivity, efficiency, transparency will become successful. And that's the way to succeed. Because blockchain will will make many things so easier. The cost of transactions will come down drastically. And so I think it's already evolving and it will evolve. I think, as you rightly said, not crypto, so I don't want to comment on crypto.
Yeah.
But blockchain as such, these stable coins which are coming, or the digital currencies which are talking, I think things will become much, much easier when digital currency becomes prevalent. Today, how many lakhs of crores are lying in currency in India, which is not really doing any work? So they think of this in next 3, 5, 10 years, I don't know, when we will all go to digital currency in India, digital rupee, I think life will become very easier. Our payment systems are already so good, but if we bring it on blockchain on a long-term basis, I think this will help. So if I understood you, blockchain, yes, I'm for it, okay?
Also, I think there is, by the way, I think there is a think tank that is working on how blockchain can be adapted or used in different parts of the BFSI ecosystem. I think post this, maybe we could just connect and I'll tell you who are the right people to reach out to.
Yeah.
I think there is echo, so please keep mic closer to your mouth.
Am I clear now?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes, go ahead.
So, sir, it was actually really exciting to see you building the wealth management practice when I was a kid, and I've been following you for quite some time. So, what I want to ask is, so somebody like me who is starting now with the wealth management, though have some corporate experience as a chartered accountant, what do you think the wealth management in next 15, 20 years will look like? And somebody who is starting today, what he should more focus on? And second part of the question is the overall, how the capital market is evolving and how do you see this in the next 10, 15, 20 years? Thank you.
Okay, friends, wealth management is a great business. Actually, today, not even 10% of people who need advice on wealth management are really going to any advisor. So, while the cake itself will keep on expanding, the people who are not yet taking advice, gradually they'll realize that it is, like for any good health, you need a doctor. For any good advice, you'll need an advisor, wealth advisor. So, business prospects, good. If you are anybody who wants to go in for business, it's a great business to go in for. I'll recommend that. Second part, as you're talking of the market, okay, I think if you have heard me anywhere or I am optimistic. I am optimistic because I am optimistic about the economy of the country. I think today, India is extremely well placed for its growth for next 10, 15 years. Our entire cycle of growth, any country in the world, the best cycle of growth came when the investments in infrastructure started. If you look at the history of US, Japan, Korea, China, anybody, I think for us that time has started. So next 10, 20 years, if economy is going to do, markets will always go good. At the end of the markets follow the growth of the economy. The earnings dependent on the growth of the economy. So I think these events, people get scared of events. My view always is don't get scared of the events. Sometimes events create opportunity to invest money. Anytime we have seen last so many years, any event when Soviet-Ukraine happened, market reacted. Israel, thing happened, market reacted. But that's the time because at the end of the long term again is important, and long term Indian story is, I think what I've seen is the best ever time for India for next 15 years than what we have seen in the past. So don't be worried. I think markets are going to be good. Be cheerful.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. So with that, we come to the end of this session. The time's up. Thank you, Anandji. As always, it's such a pleasure to have you amongst us and hear your stories and views. Thank you so much for joining, and Priti, thank you for agreeing to be here and be sporting enough to ask questions to your father from stage. I hope the answer that you wanted you've got recorded. We'll send it to you so that you can play it to the children at home. With that, I thank you once again. A big round of applause for the Rathis, please.